Hello, everyone. Coming to you from Seaford, New York. Traveling again. Uh, just wanted to share a little bit about what the Holy Spirit is speaking, and I'll get right to it. Um, I'm up back in New York, and I've seen a lot of people in the last few days, probably hundreds, for real. It's really intense here in New York. The energies and spirits, regional strongholds are, as they've always been, probably, yeah, very intense. Um, and that's the word, intense. Um, I believe that we are continuing through this pressed place of a passageway in the narrow gate, in the narrow passage, the narrow hallway, and being pressed on every side. Um, and God's in it, God's allowing it. Things are becoming very intense, very pressed, um, restricted, pressed in, you know, no easy answers. We're being called to very radical obedience and a pressing in for wisdom right now. And that calls for diligent surrendering of mind to hear the voice of God and the wisdom of God in every moment, and then to actually ask God for the grace for the obedience to walk it out. And we're failing and we're passing and we're failing and we're passing, that kind of a thing. It's not easy. We don't always pass the test, but we're learning. And another thing I just believe that the Lord is saying in regards to humility right now is that not to get tripped up by pride in believing that, if we've been walking with God a long time and we feel that we have conquered certain areas, we're doing pretty good, so to speak, I think the message is just to realize that we constantly are at God's mercy. We always need God every moment. And we can't think that we have arrived in any way, because in a moment, God can show us our heart. And I went through an experience like that yesterday. And I was just so humbled. I was so humbled. And I'm asking God to redeem it. We realize the motives of our heart. We realize the intents of our heart. We realize the despising in our heart that we have towards others, towards what others have and what others get away with. Yeah, not all of us. Maybe some of us don't have a problem with that. Some of us do. And God is, the Holy Spirit's right there to remind us, to show us if we are willing to see and surrender in those moments. We can receive the power of the Holy Spirit, and not just the cleansing, but the supernatural power of redemption and grace and Holy Spirit power in that place. And that's a spiritual law and a promise, and that's awesome. But yeah, we're in intense waves right now, and if we're not, I think the majority of us are, and I think if we're not right now, I think they are coming. I think there may be a holding back for certain specific reasons in our lives, that we're not in intense waves, in the intensity of that passageway, or the intensity of that pressing in hallway that is taking us through the narrow gate. If we're not feeling intensity right now, we're just kind of feeling joy and happiness and grace. I believe that there's a supernatural grace on you right now, and we're still in a great reveal. We're in a great reveal and an uncovering, I believe, that either has already happened or is going to happen um, as that grace window closes. It's not that the grace is lifting, but it's that this special grace window that we've had presented to us, this opportunity, is closing. And we're moving into a hour of power, a surrender of our power, a great reveal of the concealed. That which has been concealed will be revealed. A great shaking and great intensity in that shaking. Waves back and forth. I mean, at times we're going to feel complete awe of God, what He's doing, see victories, see signs and wonders, and then we're going to be in a wave of intensity, grasping on God for wisdom, um, not having an answer to the problem or the challenge, or just seeing the depth of our heart, the darkness coming up, and we're going back and forth in these waves of intensity, and they are very intense, like this. So, and I think we're going to be in this, even as we're doing this, we're going through this for what lies ahead, and I don't follow prophets, but I stumbled on something that somebody posted, and I was like, oh, let me listen to it. I haven't listened to a prophet in a really long time. I don't even know how long, but um, because well, it doesn't matter why, but I listened to it, and like they were talking about how there's a great um, revival coming, but I think we're gonna see. I think we're going to see a great awakening, but it's going to come through pain. It's going to come through these waves. It's going to come through these intensities. It's going to come through hardship. It's going to come through pain. It's going to come through the reveal of what's been concealed. I think it's going to come through the reveal of darkness. Um, and I believe that those that are in a posture of surrender in that intensity, where we just want to scream and we just want out. We want out of this passageway. We want out of this discomfort. If you're feeling discomfort right now, you can rejoice because you are in God. If you are feeling discomfort, uncomfortable place, and you just want to like scream, get out, run, and you're not, rejoice because God's power is at work. And that's what the Lord is saying to me. The Holy Spirit is really saying that this discomfort is me. And in the discomfort, there's such a great humbling happening. And wouldn't that be God? Wouldn't that be God? So much humbling. So much humbling. Um, so if that's not you, just continue to thank God. And I do believe that on a broad scale, we will be facing these discomforts, these intensities, and these humblings, great humblings, and clinging to God really for wisdom and for to just bring us through, to push us through that passageway um, as we cry out in desperation and we lean on God and lean into God because we can't do it. And as we surrender our power and receive faith that God's power is at work in us and will be revealed um, in greater and greater measure in the days ahead. But I believe we're going to be in this season for some more time, definitely for the rest of the year and probably 2023. Um, we may move out of some of the discomforting positions we're in right now, but I think we may move from one discomforting thing maybe to another. And I know these messages are not popular. It's easier just to say, we're going to have a great revival, but I think that we must go through the narrow gate, and the work of transformation that it's producing in us is going to take time. So that's what the Lord is saying right now. I don't really have a lot of time alone, and I just wanted to share this with you. My prayer for you, and I've just been praying for anyone that hears these messages, that you would hear the voice of the Lord, that you would hear the voice of the Holy Spirit in your life, in great fullness, in great power, with great clarity, more and more, even as the days grow darker, with great increase. May you receive an ear to hear what the Spirit is saying.